morning, students. Uh, am I audible?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so we are 12 of them have joined so far, so I'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll get started. Okay, we'll be announcing the schedule of your second eye test shortly. So please be prepared with be ready for the second eye test. Okay, although it is due, it was due last week itself, but due to Diwali and all, we did not want to disturb you from the celebration, so we have not kept it. We did not keep it in the last week, so we are trying to we are trying to plan it maybe the next week. Let's see. Okay, but be prepared. Inform everyone that the test would happen anytime now. Okay. Yeah. Second thing is there is something called as student registration, which is compulsory for everyone. All the third semester student, it is compulsory for you to register with you now. Okay. So your mentors will be contacting you for the registration process. Okay. So kindly be online. You have to get unless you register, you will not be allowed for the exams. Okay. This is not the exam form. Understand, bus. Okay. This is just registration for the second semester. Okay, registration for the second year, sorry, not second semester, sorry, second year. Okay, since you have completed the first year, now you are into the second year, so admissions happen in the second year again. So for that, the registration forms are open and you have to get yourself registered. Okay, so either your mentor will do it or I'll be doing it. If your mentor is not able to do it, then later I'll be doing it. Okay, but make sure that everybody gets registered. Unless you get registered, you will not be allowed to go ahead with your third semester and the fourth semester. So it's very important because it's from the university itself. Okay. Okay, guys.
So
So
your voice is a little low, sir.
sorry. Now it's okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I hope everybody is clear with whatever I said about registration. Okay. Kindly be in touch with your mentors for getting yourself registered on the VTU portal. Okay. In case your mentor is not there, okay, like not present, not is on leave. Okay, we'll wait for some time and then later I'll be registering those people also. Okay. So but make sure that you get yourself registered. That is more important. Okay. Yeah. So I'll be sharing the screen now. Please ensure that, or please very just sorry. Uh, Kindly confirm if you can see the screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So in the previous class, we have completed with microfinance with advantages, disadvantages, and challenges of microfinance is what we've completed in the previous class. Okay. Today we are going to go with leasing. Now, before I start with this, okay, I want to tell you one thing. Okay, this particular module of leasing and hire purchase, there are problems on leasing and hire purchase, but due to online classes, I'm not touching those problems right now. Okay, I'll be just going ahead with the theoretical part of leasing hire purchase. Then the next two modules, I'll be completing those. And at the end, I'll be taking problems on leasing and hire purchase. Okay, I'm just trying to plan out how should I take it. Should it be through PPTs or should I do it on the board? Okay, let me just plan it out properly and then do it because the problems are huge. On PPT, it would be really difficult to solve those problems. Like it's like if you have known capital budgeting, those problems are like capital budgeting. So either I'll what I'll do is either I'll do it on the board live class, okay, or let me check if I can prepare a video, record a video, and send it to you, okay. Let us take some time on that. Before till then, okay, I'll be completing all the theoretical portions, all the theoretical modules that are there. That is this one. And the next two modules which are there, those are completely theoretical, so I'll be completing those, okay. And in the meanwhile, problems I'll just decide how to go about, okay. So let's go on to leasing, okay. Leasing is a
So,
leasing. Yes, Rashmi.
so I wanted to say something, sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
So the problems, it is better that you record the video and send it, sir. Because even in financial management, you did the same, sir, and it was actually very convenient for us, sir. We
Okay,
also understood the problems,
no problem.
because if
That
in live classes we find a lot of difficulties to understand the
No
problems, sir.
problem, no problem. That would be perfectly all right. It is even convenient to me also to record it and send it. Okay, and I can take as much time as possible. Okay, to
Yes, sir, and then we
record
can
and send
discuss
it.
our doubts in live
Definitely,
classes.
definitely, definitely. Okay, but that will take a bit of time. Okay, I may not be able to give you the videos immediately. So what I'm trying to do
Yes,
is
sir.
I'm trying to complete the syllabus as soon as possible. Okay, so that maybe in in the month of December, I will be taking only problems. Okay, I'll be sending you videos on the problems, and then maybe during the class we can have a discussion on the doubts about that particular problem. That can be done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so today let's start with this particular concept of leasing. Though very familiar, most of you use this word lease, lease, lease every time. Okay, what is this leasing? Okay, basically it's a contractual agreement. Okay, so it's a lease, it is called as a lease agreement. So it's a contractual agreement in which a party owning an asset or equipment, okay, there is a party which owns the asset. Okay, so there is person A, let's say, okay, he owns the asset. He has a, let's say, um, house, let's say, okay, a big house is what he has. Okay, so that is a property or an asset that he has. Okay, he is called as a lessor. Okay, he is called as a lessor, lessor, allows it to use to another party. Okay, so he gives that house, that Mr. A, who is a lessor, gives his house to, let's say, Mr. B, who is a lessee, who takes this house on lease. Okay, so that is what a lease agreement is. So it's a contractual agreement in which party owning the asset or equipment allows its use to another party for an agreed period of time for a consideration of periodic payment called as lease rental. Okay, so this lease is for a particular period of time. Okay, now that particular period of time may be 10 years, it may be 50 years, it may be 100 years, etc. Okay, that lease period may be any number. Okay, there are lots of lease premises in Belgaum itself, especially in the cantonment area. Those who stay in the cantonment area, they might be aware that their house is on lease. Okay, they don't owe the house, they are on lease. Maybe 99 years lease or 100 years lease is what they are staying into. Okay, so that is what lease is. Okay, it's a contractual agreement between the lessor and the lessee for the use of asset that is owned by the lessor for a periodic payment of lease rentals by the lessee. Okay, so I hope you're clear with who is a lessor and who is a lessee. Okay, lessor is a person who owns the asset, who gives the asset to another person for use. That another person who uses the asset is called as the lessee. Now that lessee pays periodic payments to the lessor, that is called as lease rentals. Okay, so that is what lease agreement is or leasing is. So I'll just read it once again for y'all. If you're clear with it, please give a thumbs up. Leasing is a contractual agreement, also known as a lease agreement, in which a party owning an asset or equipment allows its use to another party for an agreed period of time for a consideration of periodic payment called as lease rentals. So this is what leasing is. So are you clear with what is leasing? If you're clear, please give a thumbs up so that I can go ahead with the next part. Any doubts here? If you have doubts, guys, feel free to ask those doubts. No problems at all. Okay, great. Right. Next is, what are the features of leasing? Okay, so once you know what is leasing, let's understand what are the features of leasing. So both the parties involved should be competent to contract. First of all, the most important feature is the parties involved, that is the lessor and the lessee, should be competent enough to enter into that agreement or enter into a contract. So under section under the Contract Act, under section 11, they have specified who are competent parties. Now the question may be, can a minor enter into a contract? Can a minor go for a leasing? Yes, a minor can go, but with a representative who is a major. Okay, so there's a representative of a minor who enters into a contract on behalf of the minor and then leases the property which is owned by the minor, that is the lessor who is a minor. Okay, he leases it to the lessee. Okay, that is what the first feature is, that is both the parties involved should be competent to contract. They should be competent as per the Contract Act. Okay, as per the section 11 of the Contract Act. Second is no transfer of ownership. Now normally in a lease agreement there is no transfer of ownership. Okay, the asset or the equipment that is leased is not transferred from one person to another person on the payment of all the lease rentals. That doesn't happen in case of leasing. It happens in case of hire purchase. Okay, but there is a form of lease called as finance lease, financial lease, which in which it is possible. But normally in lease agreements, the transfer of ownership is not done. There is no transfer of ownership. Then the possession of the asset. The possession of the asset is with the lessee. Okay, always the lessor has to transfer the possession to the lessee unless the time period is over. Okay, till the expiry of the time period. After the expiry of the contract or the time period, then the lessee gives the asset or the equipment back to the lessor. Okay, so that is what possession of asset is. Lease rentals are scheduled. Okay, so lease rentals are normally in the form of EMI, equated monthly installments. Okay, which are scheduled as per the convenience of the lessee. Okay, depending on the cash inflows that the lessee is going to get. Okay, on the basis of that the lease rentals are decided. So they are normally equated in the form of equated monthly installments. Next one is standby for meeting huge capital investment. Yes, for a lessee, if you understand, leasing becomes a standby source of capital for meeting huge capital requirement. Okay, now sometimes let's say you are into mining. Okay, and you require a huge equipment or a machinery. Now to buy that machinery, it becomes really a burden on you, because you need to spend a lot of money on that, or you need to take a huge debt on that. Okay, so instead of that, what happens is the miners, okay, the mining companies normally take those machineries on lease. Okay, which is more cheaper, and they don't require a huge amount of capital at once. Don't require huge amount of money at once. So what do? Is they take this equipment or machinery on lease. Okay, so what happens is it becomes a standby capital to them, so they save on the huge investment that they are expected to do, and that is how they meet their requirements of fixed capital. Okay, so that is another feature of leasing. Are you all clear with all these 5 features of leasing? Like competent, no transfer, the possession is with the lessee, till the period is over, then lease rentals are scheduled. They are scheduled on an equated monthly installment basis, and it acts like a standby for huge investment. So are you clear with all these 5 features of leasing? Yes, guys? Okay, fine. So let's understand this very important question from the knowledge point of view as well as your examination point of view, because most of the times we have seen this question coming. Explain the different types of leasing, or what is the difference between operating lease and financial lease. Okay, these are some of the questions that normally comes in the question paper. So be attentive when I am discussing this particular thing. Okay, now operating lease is a lease for a fixed period of time. Okay, now there are lots of features which are involved into operating lease, like who takes care of the expenses, who can charge depreciation, who takes care of the losses, etc., etc. Okay, there are lots of things that are involved, which I'll be dealing in the next slide. Okay, that is when I'm dealing the difference between the operating lease and financial lease, you will be more clear. Okay, so I'll just skip these two parts right now. Okay, that is operating lease and financial lease. Okay, and in the next slide, when I'm explaining the difference, you will understand what exactly is operating lease and what exactly is financial lease. Till then, we'll complete the other types of lease financing. Okay, so the third one is sale and lease back. Okay, a very typical, very interesting kind of lease. What happens here is, okay, you have an asset, let's say, and now you don't you are into liquidity crisis, you want money, you want immediate money or liquid money. Okay, so what do you do? But you also want that asset. Okay, there's a situation where you want money also and you want asset also. What do you do? So what do you do? Suppose I have an asset, let's say I have an asset worth 10 crore rupees. Okay, that's a machinery that I have. What do? I sell it to a person. Okay, so that person becomes a lesser, I sell it to that lesser. Okay, and I get whatever 10 crores, whatever amount I'm expected to get from that particular asset, I get that money. Okay, so I have 10 crore rupees cash with me now. Okay, then what do? I lease it from that particular person again. So same machine, I'm giving it to, let's say I have taken it, I give it to Rashmi, let's say. Okay, Rashmi buys that asset and Rashmi leases it back to me. Okay, because I'm in need of that machine, I want to use it. Okay, so what happens here? I'm selling it and leasing it back. Okay, so that is what sale and lease back is. Okay, so what happens in this case, why it is so important is, I am in need of money, I'm getting that money. I want that asset, I'm getting that asset also. Now what I'm doing, I'm just paying that lease rentals on a regular basis. That's it. Okay, so that is the advantage of sale and lease back. Okay, next one. So are you clear with this sale and lease back? Any doubts? Any doubts on this sale and lease back, guys?
No, sir.
Is everyone clear with this? Vishaka, are you clear? Pradeep, Saraswati?
The financial lease,
Uh, Sorry.
financial lease.
That's what I told you all. I'll be dealing with operating lease and financial lease in the next slide. Okay, where I'll be dealing with the difference between these two. You'll be understanding what exactly these two leases are. Okay, so I have skipped those two parts and I'm going to the next one. Okay, Swapnil?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then next one is direct lease. Now in direct lease, we have two types of lease. One is the bipatriate and tripatriate. Now the word itself suggests what it is. Bipatriate means two parties are involved. Tripatriate means three parties are involved. Okay. Bipatriate means there is a person who owns the asset and there is a person who uses that asset. So there are only two parties involved here. Okay. The lessor and the lessee. Lessor is a person who owns the asset. Lessee is the person who is going to use that asset on a periodic lease rentals. Okay, that is bipatriate. Okay, third one is tripatriate, where three parties are involved. Now, what are these three parties? One is the financing company, one is a lessor, another is a lessee. Okay, now how does it work? Okay, lessor wants to buy an asset. It buys an asset by taking a loan from a third party or from a insurance or from a banking from a bank or a financial institution. Okay, so he takes a loan. So there is a financial institution who has given a loan to that particular person who has bought that asset. So the ownership is with that financial institution, right? That is how mortgage works. So there is bank, let's say State Bank of India. I have taken a loan from State Bank of India to purchase a machinery worth 5 crores. Okay, so now the owner is State Bank of India because I have taken it on loan. I own the asset, I have the possession. Now that asset I give it to let's say Swapnil, okay, who is a lessee. So there are three parties involved over here. The bank who is financing me, I'm the lessor who owns the asset, and I'm giving it to who has the possession of the asset, and I'm giving it to Swapnil, who is a lessee, who is going to use that asset. So that is a tripatriate lease. Okay. Now another example of a tripatriate lease would be, okay, like I am the owner of the asset and Swapnil is the person who wants that asset to use. Okay. There is another person who comes in between who helps us to get connected. Okay. He acts as a middleman. So what happens is that particular person will take the equipment or machinery and give it to Swapnil. He takes it from me and give it to Swapnil. Okay, so he acts as the middleman over there. So again, there are three parties involved here. So that is called as a tripatriate lease. Okay, so in a bipatriate lease, there are only two parties involved, the lessor and the lessee. Whereas in a tripatriate lease, there is a financer, lessor, and a lessee. Three parties involved. Then single investor leases, I own the asset and I give it to you. That is what single investor asset is. I'm not taking any loan. Okay, neither I'm going for a double lease, etc. Okay, I have the asset with me and I'm giving it to you. That is called as a single investor lease. Okay, now there might be a question, sir, is single investor lease is it similar to bipatriate? Yes, it can be a bipatriate lease also. Okay, so there are no fixed compartments here. Okay, a financial lease can be a sale and lease back. A financial lease can be a direct lease. A financial lease, single investor lease can be a bipatriate lease. A single investor lease can be a sale and lease back lease. So there might be a combination of this, but you need to understand each one of them separately. Okay, so single investor lease is basically there's a person who owns the asset and he gives that asset to the lessee. That is what single investor is. There is no multiple investors involved over there. Okay, then leveraged lease. Okay, leverage, the word leverage means loan or debt. Okay, so in a leverage lease, what happens is, suppose I am a lessor. What do? I take a loan from a bank and I buy that asset. Okay, so I have taken a leverage. Okay, I have taken a loan. That means I have created a debt, that is a leverage. Sorry. So what happens? I have taken a loan, I have taken the asset, I have bought that asset. Now that asset, I'll give it on lease to the lessee. Okay, this is called as a leveraged lease. When I'm taking a loan and buying the asset and then giving it to for leasing, that is called as a leveraged lease. Okay, next one is domestic lease. Now domestic lease is when both the parties are in the same country, that is called as a domestic lease. Okay, the equipment is also in the same country. The lessor and the lessee, both of them are in the same country, then we call it as a domestic lease within the boundaries of a particular nation or a country. If the leasing agreement is happening within the boundaries of a particular nation and country, it is called as a domestic lease. Okay, now next one is your international lease. Okay, the name itself suggests it is international. Okay, so there are two types of leases in international lease. You have to understand them carefully. One is import lease. Now in import lease, what happens is both the parties are from the same country. Okay, both the parties stay in the same country, but the equipment or the asset that we are talking about, okay, is imported from other country. That is called as import lease. So as a lessor, suppose I am a lessor, I will import an equipment from, let's say, France. Okay, and that equipment I'll give it on leasing. So that is called as an import lease. Okay, when I'm importing the asset and giving it on lease, that is import lease. Second one is cross border lease, which is completely different, where both the parties belong to two different countries. Let's say I am in India and someone else is in Sri Lanka. Okay, and I am giving my equipment on lease to the person in Sri Lanka who is in another country. That is called as cross border lease. Okay, it's not an import lease, it is a cross border lease where both the parties belong to two different nations or two different countries. Okay, that is cross border lease. Then upfront and back end lease. Now what is upfront lease is, in upfront lease, the payment, okay, initial years the payment is very high and later years the payment is very low. The lease rentals, what I'm talking about. Okay, so in the initial years the payments are very high and in the later years the payments are very low. That is called as upfront lease. Whereas back end leases, in the initial years the lease rentals are lower, at a lower end. Okay, and at the later years the lease rentals are at a higher end. That is called as back end lease. Okay, so understand the words front upfront lease means upfront you're collecting more money and later you're collecting less money. Okay. Whereas back end lease is initially you're collecting less money, whereas later you're collecting huge amount of money. Okay. That is called as upfront lease and back end lease. So I'll stop here for 1 minute or 1 or 2 minutes. Go through all these except first two, that is operating lease and financial lease. All other things, please go through it. If you're not clear with any of these, please feel to ask. Okay, I'll be waiting here for 2 minutes now. If there are any doubts, please feel free to ask. If you're clear, please give a thumbs up so that I can go ahead. Guys, any doubts, anyone, please feel free to ask. If no, at least give a thumbs up so that we can go ahead with the next part. Anyone, any doubts? Okay, if there are no doubts, then yeah, Rashmi.
Yes, sir. So in sale and lease back, the asset that's there is whether we buy it or we already own it, sir.
No, we
Asset.
already own it. Okay, we already have the asset, or we may have buy it. So basically, the ownership is with me. Now
Yes, sir.
I want liquidity. Okay, I am in liquidity crisis. Let's say I want liquid money with me. So what do? Is I sell it. Okay, and get that money. So that I normally what happens is I own that asset. I have that asset already.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other doubt? Okay, if no, then I'll ask some questions to some people. Okay, Aryant, can you tell me what is single investor lease? Aryant? Aryant,
Hello.
can you tell me what is single investor lease?
I mean, sir, only a single person can take lease, sir. Hello.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Gautami, can you tell me what is tripatriate lease? Gautami, can you tell me what is tripatriate lease?
Sir, in tripatriate lease, 3 people are involved.
Who are
The
those?
lessor, lessee, and supplier,
Financer, right?
financer.
Yeah. Okay. Or supplier also sometimes. Yes. Okay. Then, okay. Next is Priyanka. Can you tell me what is leverage lease? Priyanka, can you tell me what is leverage lease?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is leverage lease?
Hello. It is partly financed by a lessor through a third-party financial institutions.
Okay, fine. Dhanashri, can you tell me what is domestic lease? Dhanashri? Nevrekar? Dhanashri, are you there? Akash, can you tell me what is what is import lease? Dhanashri, do you have the answer for domestic lease? Dhanashri?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Akash, go ahead.
Sir, Akash.
Yes.
Sir, import lease means importing the asset from the other country and leasing to the other domestic, sir,
Yes.
in our own country, sir.
Good, good, good. Okay. Next, Rohit, can you tell me what is upfront lease? Rohit? Rohit, what is upfront lease? Okay. Ashwini, what is back end lease?
Yeah. So in the upfront lease, the initially the high charges are made, and in the later year the lower rent lease are charged. And in the back end lease, initially they charge the lower rent, and in the later years they charge the high lease.
Okay. Fine. Great. Okay. So let's continue with the next part now. Okay. That is a difference. This is what I was talking about. Okay. Now you will understand what is financial lease and what is operating lease in detail. Okay. So first one is financial lease. Okay. The leased asset is of specific use for the lessee. Okay. Now that is for a specific use for a lessee. Okay. You can use it only for a specific purpose. Whereas in case of operating lease, the asset may serve several uses, okay, during its lifetime. It can be used for several purposes during its lifetime. Normally what happens is a financial lease is done only once, okay, and after the end of the economic life or the useful life of that particular asset, the lease ends. Okay, so there is no more use of that particular piece of equipment or asset, okay, or a piece of land also. Now sometimes let's understand one thing. Okay, in case of mining, okay, mining also the lands are given on lease. Okay, suppose granite mines. Now the extraction of granite is limited, okay, till you go on getting that granite stone, you go on extracting it. But once it is complete, once it is over, you cannot extract more granite from it, so you have to leave that. That is a part of financial lease, where you cannot lease it to somebody else after that, because it's of no use. That particular piece of land becomes useless for you, because there is no more granite available in that particular piece of land. That is a financial lease. Whereas operating lease is, let's say, a piece of machine you have given it, or let's say a house, you have given it on lease to a particular person for 10 years. After 10 years, you take the house back and you can lease it to somebody else also. Okay, so there are multiple uses for it. That is what is the first difference between operating lease and financial lease. Second one is ownership risk. Okay, while the legal ownership rests with the lessor, okay, all the major risks and rewards relate to lessee. Okay, in case of financial lease, okay, all the rewards and risk are taken by the lessee. Okay, lessee takes care of the risks and rewards which are related to that particular piece of equipment which is leased. Whereas in case of operating lease, it is the lessor. Okay, lessor bears all the risk and reaps all the rewards. Okay, so that is another difference between financial lease and operating lease. Next one is obsolescence lease. Okay, now in case of obsolescence, sorry, that is unusability. Okay, the lessee is responsible for risk in case of obsolescence. Okay, if the machinery becomes obsolete, it is the lessee's risk. Okay, whereas in case of operating lease, it's always the lessor who is responsible for obsolescence. Okay, next one is cancelability. Okay, can we cancel the lease? Okay, so in case of financial lease, the lease may not be cancelled by either party before the set time, as the lessor is generally interested in generating rental incomes. Okay, so cannot be cancelled. Basically, in case of financial lease, the leases cannot be cancelled. Whereas in case of operating lease, the lease has the option of premature cancelling by either of the parties. Either of the parties can just ask or come with a cancellation deed, so they can cancel the lease. That is operating lease. Okay, next one is lease period. The lease period generally spreads to entire economic life of the asset. However, such period may be divided into primary and secondary period. Okay, so as I said, in case of financial lease, it is throughout the life of the asset, that is the lease period for which it is rented, okay, or leased. Whereas in case of operating lease, the lease period is considerably shorter than the economic life, and asset is leased to several lessees during the lifetime. So I can give the house to any number of lessees during the lifetime of that particular house. Okay, that is operating lease. In case of financial lease, the cost of repairs and maintenance are borne by the lessee, okay, as lessor merely acts as a financier. Whereas in case of operating lease, the lessor bears all the cost of repairs and maintenance. Okay. Next one is lessor service. The lessor merely acts as a financier and does not provide any special services in case of financial lease. Whereas in case of operating lease, the lessor offers specialized services such as handling and operating the particular asset. So that can be possible in case of operating lease. Next one is payout. This type of lease is fully payout lease, and the cost of the asset along with the basically like sorry okay, the cost of the asset along with the interest is paid out by the single party. Okay, because as I said, it is the lifetime lease. Financial lease normally is only for one person, and he uses that particular asset or equipment or a piece of land for till the life of that asset is over. Okay, so normally it is paid by only one person. So the payout or the cost of the asset along with the interest is paid out by single lessee. Okay, whereas in case of operating lease, it is non-payout lease, as the asset is leased out to several lessees during its lifetime. So there is no payout as such in case of operating lease. Okay, so because it is continuously leased to n number of people during the lifetime of that particular asset. So this is what operating lease and financial lease is. Okay, so financial lease generally is for a longer period of time. Normally it is given for one party till the life of the asset is over. Okay, and all the expenses, risks are borne by the lessee. Whereas in case of operating lease, it is not a lifetime lease. It is leased out continuously for a number of people, and the risk and the maintenance and all the expenses are borne by the lessor. Okay, that is what operating lease is. Okay, so this is what financial lease and operating lease are. So are you clear with these two things? That is, what is financial lease and what is operating lease? We are left with less than a minute, so I'll be stopping it over here. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask.
So about the HR analytics practical components.
That I'll take